Randy, I am hoping that by showing my face on camera, this makes up for the sheer tardiness of this video. Yeah, girl, because you were right about like everything in your last reading. You're always right. I love you. Wonderful, wonderful skill set. I am in my new place. You can see I'm not on that webcam anymore, and I am glowing. And it's not just the video light, girl. So, spring has sprung. And so is this reading about to go for you. So, we're going to start with this energy deck. I'm going to go through my decks, just pull out what we need to know for you, play around. You know how I like to do it. And then, separately, I'm going to get into the reading for you and your hubby with all the I was going to say gushy details, but it seems a bit much. It seems gory. So, let's get into what is popping off for you, my dear. So, for the universe, just put a card back on from when I just did like a quick third eye exercise. What does Miss Randi Riley most need to know right now? Have you been overthinking? That's the first thing that comes to mind. Have you been overthinking, sweetie? Ow, I'm jacking myself all up. Action. Right? You have been overthinking. This action card is calling you to action because look, the garden and the gate. This means that you have been holding, let me zoom this in there. You have been holding yourself back from something that you wanted to do. And all the action that you're meant to be taking is what's causing the anxiety. It's like all the action is building up in you as you're like trying to decide what the fuck to do with yourself, but pulling it apart. You're supposed to be finding your community, your tribe, uh, even quite possibly your clientele, because that sort of is your tribe. I mean, look how we found each other, right? And that is going to be the balance that takes away the anxiety that is haunting you at this point. So that's what we're going to start today. That's what our focus is on. What action does Randi need to take so that she can best use this anxiety that is being caused by Aries season, which is peak action energy? So I'm setting these up here. You're actually my first, that sounds like super like, my first reading with this setup. I couldn't decide, like, should I have my cards out? Does anybody give a fuck? Should it just be me? I don't know yet. So I'm gonna do it like this for now. So let's get into it. Going to the Akashic Tarot next. What is the action you need to take? Because we can't just have you hanging out there. What is the action that Randi needs to take to step outside this gate? You are not putting yourself out there. You've been heavily focusing on attracting, magnetizing, pulling stuff into yourself, but you are missing the other piece. So what is the action you need to focus on? I always find this so interesting, right? You got Archangel Raphael. It really just keeps in. Let me show you. And this iridescent moon dude. The cards aren't necessarily giving me anything off of looking at them, but instinctively it feels like maybe you don't have time, or you're perceiving it as you don't have time to put yourself out there in regards to this business. I know we talked about the tattoo thing, which is dope, but there's something else missing here. Like there's a little bit of time that you're supposed to be using every day to put into your healing business so that it grows properly. Because right now everything is up in the air. But you could be planting seeds now for it to blossom like you've been instructed. And I know it's going a little bit slower than you wanted it to, but I keep getting that answer for you. It's not about just what's in front of you. It's about what's going to be in front of you in the future is the message that just came through. So with the Archangel Raphael, it's putting your abilities as a healer out there more often. You've done all that you could with attracting. The action is chase, baby. I'm like, where is this going? But you know, we're along for a ride together. The energy is to chase, and even down to the first card that came out for you. What they doing? Chase. You have attracted as much as you can from a sedentary position. So you're sort of getting the same message I was getting in a way, is that it's a new phase going on here. Something new is being born. So let's first ask, what is going away? What is dying? What is being released? I'm gonna get this set up down there. So what does Randi need to release, or what is being released from Randi at this time? What is she working towards removing? And of course, it popped out. Parasite and atonement. Now, you know we gotta dig into that, right? The atonement is you feeling like you have to make up for something. This is still you blocking yourself because of money, sweetie. That parasite is a feeling. It's you feeling parasitical because obsession came up. So this means this was a thought that was running around in your head. You're not giving your all to business. And even if you're not making money doing something else, you're still not giving your all or planting the seeds or moving forward in more broad direction with this business, because part of you feels like maybe there's another job that you can be doing to bring in more money. This is a heavy block for you because I haven't felt anything from your honey that says that this is an issue. It's all from you, like you being afraid to step out. So there are certain things you're not doing. You're getting messages. You're getting channels every day. I feel that very deeply. That made me want to put on some lip gloss. EOS. So you're getting messages every day about things that you could be doing to spread. Messages you're supposed to put online. Even places you're supposed to go in like your community. People you're supposed to reach out to. I just felt like a feeling like you were doing some sort of outreach, or you're supposed to do some sort of outreach. It could even have to do with children or young women. But you're frozen in, I guess it's fear. Frozen in fear. Frozen in the comfort of what you have, but at the same time you're scared in the place you are because you want to be giving more. So you're going to be releasing those patterns. But let's see what you have to replace them with. What new traits is Randi developing? What new traits is Randi developing? And this is my archetype deck, so we can get you some personified traits. Servant. But this says delighting in the service of others. That goes to you enjoying this job. This needs to be like your full-time job, sweetie. This is what you came to do. This is like the coup de grace. The next one is thief, right? But it says sheds light on potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. And then storyteller. I feel like you are supposed to be doing collective messages. Like when you sit up here like what I'm doing, right? And you just start pulling cards, telling a story, and that story will resonate with somebody, and those are the people that will book you. Because you're doing a broad message. You're helping uplift through your messages. So when you start your reading, you'll be like, hey, this story is for somebody such and such, such and such. And then that will find who it needs to find. This has something to do with anything that you have in the 11th house. Expanding into your wishes and dreams, your gains. Because this is financial too. Of course, because you know it keeps coming around to that. You're worried about finances, but this is the thing that's going to solve it. Once you fully commit to putting your energy into it. So let's find out which dark goddess needs to help you through this. Which goddess does Randi need? And these dark goddesses are just the ones that help you through the dark, the light bringers, to help you see things that you need to see that you aren't seeing. Which goddess does Randi need to assist her through this? I had the whole deck upside down, girl. Sheila Nagig. Let me show you her. Sheila Nagig. Never heard of this bitch. So we're gonna read from the book just because the book has the cool like storyline and chant you're supposed to say and shit. But the word at the bottom is desperation. So let's see what Sheila. What a name for a goddess, right? Sheila is going to help with today. Sheila is deep in the book. Okay. Sheila Nagi, desperation. And then, oh, baby, sit back for a second. You about to get read for filth. I just read the first sentence, and I see where this is going. Worrying leads to despair. Desperation doesn't care. Value all the good within. Love embraced will always win. By the power of the dark goddess in me, protection in place, blessed be. The dark goddess guidance. You are getting weary of empty promises. Time after time, you find yourself alone and rejected. A lack of self-worth has followed you around since you heard the immortalized words, happily ever after. You have dreamed of the one, of your beloved who whispers they've been waiting for you. However, all is not as you wish the fairy tale to be. You give your all only to have your life and soul sucked from you and then abandoned. So desperate to be loved, you find that anyone who will have you will do. You worry that you are not good enough, that nobody will ever love you as you beat yourself up. Sheila Nagig urges you to stop giving yourself to the first person who comes along and instead have dignity and pride in your unique being. Value yourself, and in turn, others will value and love you for who you are. So stop worrying. Foresight. Surround yourself with people who value you. Everything is working out perfectly. Learn to trust. Worrying is a form of negative prayer, so keep your thoughts and words positive. Time to put yourself first. A surprise offer of help is presented, and the love you seek is on its way. Smile. And I'm regarding the love is still in this relationship. It's just, as I keep saying, as that keeps popping up here, no matter what your mate is saying to you, there's something you're still not feeling inside, and that has to do with that atonement energy. Sheila Nagig, archetypical warrior of the Irish origin. That's why I love to read the book sometimes, only for this deck, because the descriptions are so very freaking. Whoever made this deck really put a lot of thought into making sure each goddess was well thought out. So I will always read from the book for that one. But that worry thing, that's the first thing I felt. You see, I didn't even pull cards when I felt your energy was worrying. I'm like, girl, like, this was crazy. What the fuck going on here? So just for the sake of you feeling better, because I know what I know. Let's first find out where this past life atonement came in. That's what I felt. This atonement came from somewhere else. So what does Randi's soul feel like she's still atoning for? Where is the atonement blockage? Because the parasite feeling is you. You feeling like a parasite. You feeling like a burden. You feel like you having to make up for existing. And I believe that's what that goddess card was trying to say. Ships and Egypt, right? This goes back to the beginning of our storyline, where you were made into a bride. What do you feel like you're atoning for? Is the question. Guilt. What does Randi feel like she's atoning for? it's still, look, all tied up. And we went over this marriage thing. You're still in the same ripple energetically. The example I just got in my head, and this is going to be wild, is Rumpelstiltskin. You remember how the king, and everybody focuses on Rumpelstiltskin the whole story. No, this is about the king and Rumpelstiltskin. And in contrast or in comparison to your spouse. So remember the king, I don't even know, he was taxing people in the beginning of the story, right? And so the dad was like, no, take my daughter, she's a bad bitch. And he took the daughter and he locked her up and she's like, I can do a thing. And he's like, all right, keep doing that thing. And once I see that you can prove yourself, then I'll let you out and I'll marry you and that'll be great. That is what I'm sensing in the atonement. Like, because you were, this is heavy. Because you were sort of trafficked, it's like you were an indentured servant or a slave in your existence. You had to pay back a debt all the time. Like you had to raise the kids or take care of the house, and it was more than that. Like you were just trying to make yourself useful. You felt like you had to be useful. And I think that's still what's going on here. There's not a part of you that's okay with sitting in your worth, because in this life, that life in Egypt, it was about what are you worth as a wife? What do you bring to the table? Are you an oracle? And that's, I do believe, when I was just saying, it wasn't you just feeding the kids and stuff. You were an oracle. You were helping him predict things. You were helping him manifest. But that made you feel like your only worth was in like providing something. You were never okay with just being a feminine, as opposed to if you had been like raised a queen in that life and not trafficked, you would automatically had like Lori Harvey behavior, and you would have been like, no, I am the prize and shit. But that's not what you feel here. There's a part of you that always feels like you have to give or be something extra extraordinary in order to keep the king's attention. So, now let me pull from here. What does Randi need to know about her relationship, her romantic relationship? What does she need to know? Make the effort. This is about forgiving and learning. This person is your soulmate. Last but not least, trust it. I was just watching a British show all day, so everything sounds to me better in a British accent. And it's like, it just really slaps. Like, trust it. Trust it. It's proper. He loves you. He has learned to love you over hundreds of incarnations of him kidnapping you. That's how much he loves you. Enough to just keep you there, even when you don't want to be there. So I have a new love deck, and I'm gonna pull from that too, just fucking cuz. This is centered around your feelings of worthiness. What does Randi need to know about her relationship? Babe, this job is fucking amazing. All I do is open up my crown chakra and I know your whole life. What do I keep saying? Your complaint is you feel like you are not enough. Not enough. You see that? She's all sad in the rain and shit. Not enough. That is your feeling. Frustrated. Lack of confidence. Self-sabotage. Ego issues. Ooh. You are the runner. How did you become the runner, my love? The female runner. Listening to ego. Fear of intimacy. You are being advised to go on a date. Go on a date. Take your boo out. Like, man, my soul been tripping. No, my ego been tripping, but I love you. We got to get this together. So, last but not least, I am going to pull from the self-care deck so we can see what you need to focus on to pull all the rest of this together, because action is the prescription for the anxiety that is your affliction, baby. What does Randy need for self-care? What does Randy need for self-care? Connect with your ancestors. And you see, this is at night too, right? Because they're trying to tell you stuff, and your mind has been blocking it out because you've been thinking a lot. A lot. 3 times too much. You see 3 bitches here? Next, movement. Movement is a form of meditation. Anything that gets you out of your mind and into your body. Mindfulness. And then connect with your womb. This also feels like you need to get laid too. But talk to your womb first and find out what type of laying you need. And yes, this is a thing, I just found this out. Like, you need different strokes for different seasons. Like, I'm about to sound like way out of pocket. But like, some days maybe she needs a slow, gentle stroke. And some days she just needs to be I'm trying to be proper. Right, proper. It's not happening. Sometimes you just need to be like, be into submission. And that's not in submission like, oh, babe. No, you just need to be like, know you're taken care of. Like, once the womb is okay, then suddenly you'll fall back into your femininity and then back in your flow. Your womb needs to be beat back into your flow. Your masculine thought is overrunning because you're not putting it into action, so it's just running around your mind of thoughts of things that you could be doing, things that you're not doing, all those things that are backing you up. But your womb says, just, girl, get you some back shots and relax. Ground yourself. Thank you so much. Oh, hold on, let me use my little clicker to turn it off. And I look forward to getting you the explicit, even though it looks like it was going there, reading tomorrow. It did not let me stop. Oh, fuck this clicker.